I think a lot of young people right now are wondering if they're truly accepted in the church and not just hearing like all are welcome, but actually like feeling it, feeling like they're welcomed into the church.
Hello, and welcome to Keeping Up with the Youtherans, the podcast where we get hot takes about the future of the church from Lutheran youth from around the North Carolina Synod. Today I'm with Mason. Mason, will you tell me a little bit about you?
Yeah, I go to Holy Comforter in Belmont, um, which is like outside of Charlotte. And yeah, I've been going there since I was a baby. And yeah,
So, what do you want people to know about you and your life story?
yeah, I go to East Gaston High School. I'm a freshman. I'm a big Swiftie, and I love Taylor Swift and Sabrina Carpenter. And but yeah,
Yeah. What's your favorite era?
oh gosh. Probably Reputation or Folklore.
We love it. We love it.
Yeah.
So, what is one word that you would use to describe your experience of church growing up?
Uh, Challenging, I think is my word.
Ooh, why that word? Say more.
Um, I went to a private Christian school mainly based off of like Baptist beliefs and stuff, which was very different from what I was learning at my church. And not very different, but like there were small details that were different. I don't know. Um, so I just had like two voices in each ear telling me what's right and what's wrong. And it was just challenging of what I wanted to be true, I guess.
Yeah, that sounds challenging when you have two competing opinions every day. That's a lot. So, how did church start to feel, even in those challenges, like it was yours and not just something you had to do because of school or because your family took you?
Yeah, I think when I started going to youth group actually, um, because that's when I don't know, it felt more welcoming than the church in a way. And then after I started going to youth group, it felt like the church was more welcoming. But I didn't have a way to youth group a lot of times because of my parents working all the time. But my deacon would always come and pick me up and stuff. Um,
Nice.
so it just, I feel like youth group gave a new outlook on church and stuff for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Having your own space, kind of in a smaller group with your own age, kind of helped you get through all those challenges, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So, what makes a congregation feel welcoming to young people beyond just saying that phrase that every church says, all are welcome? What do you think?
I think giving the opportunity for the youth or the young people to like give them the opportunity to be in like a leadership role or any role in the church, like serving communion or leading children's church or something. And it makes you, I guess, feel like you're a part of something, not just like sitting in a church and listening every single Sunday. But yeah,
Nice. I like that. Empowering them to lead makes them actually feel like they belong. I love that. So what questions do you think about faith are most important to people your age right now?
oh gosh. Um, I think a lot of young people right now are wondering if they're truly accepted in the church, um, and not just hearing like all are welcome. Um, but actually like feeling it, feeling like they're welcomed into the church. Um, Also just like questions that like I guess the questions lots of young people I see at my school having are like why God allows bad things to happen and stuff. And people, I think they want real answers, not just like surface level ones, if that makes sense.
No, I think that, yeah,
Yeah.
those are all really good. I have some of those questions right now too.
Yeah.
What do you think you wish older generations would ask you about?
Um, I wish they would ask stuff like, how are you actually doing? Instead of just like, how are you doing and expecting like a fine, I'm okay, when actually sometimes you're not okay and you need somebody. Um, but like, yeah, don't just ask people if you're okay, like about school or sports or something, but like mentally and about their mental
Hmm.
health and stuff.
Yeah. How important do you think it is for the church to talk about mental health, identity, and those like real life things?
Um, I think it's very important, especially mental health, because I think that it gets overlooked a lot in the church. Um, and I think there's a lot of young people that are like struggling silently with their mental health or identity. Um, but I think church should be a place where you get to express that feeling instead of like tucking it away and hiding it every Sunday or Wednesday. But yeah,
Yeah. So obviously, like the church has been challenging, and you've given some really good examples of how we could do better and be more real and address real life concerns. But is there anything that gives you hope about the future of the church?
yeah. Um, I mean, yes, there are churches like that are actually trying and creating spaces for young people, but I think the thing that gives me the most hope for the future of the church is the youth. And that because when I was at LYO well, last month, um, just being in that room, it felt like the future had a lot to hold of what is coming and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah, so like this Gen Z, Gen Alpha
yeah,
group is really going to shake things up, and that's giving you hope.
we're gonna eat. Yeah.
You're going to eat. We love it. So if a congregation is asking, where are the young people and how do we keep them? What's your honest answer?
Um, if you want to keep them, I mean, make them feel accepted and welcome into the church and not just saying all are welcome. Um, Personally, and I think I know a lot of my friends and youth group at church, um, want to be involved and do stuff instead of just like sitting and singing the songs, reading the sermons. Like they want to be involved and have leadership roles and stuff. But yeah, I think the making them feel welcome is like a big one of how we keep them.
We love it. Any other hot takes you want to drop on our synod before we say goodbye?
The thing that gives me hope about the future was the young people. So we have to keep the young people to have the future of the church, if that makes sense. So,
No, that makes total sense. Yeah, we can't have the future you're hoping for if we scare them on the way before you get there.
so making them feel welcome is a big thing. But yeah,
Well, awesome. Thank you so much, Mason. And tune in next time, y'all, to see how we're keeping up with the Youtherans.